Alrighty, guys, what's up? Who is ready for some Friday night League of Legends? Yeah, that's me. Gonna be joined by my partner in crime here, Karen Franz, is gonna help me break down this game for you. Again, we got the Dandelion Knights versus the Ravenous Kumquats, and if you've watched any of the most recent games this week between Squirtle Squad and Nerdy Pandas, you know that a lot is riding on this one right now. So tell me a little bit about the standings and what you, as an unbiased caster, are hoping to happen here tonight.
Okay, so as the most neutral caster of all here tonight, I know that both teams actually just closed out of the standings tab a second ago. Oh no, I'm the worst
Yeah,
ever.
so we have basically, if we run down from the top, this is Shurima. We've got Spaceman's 5 10-0 secured first place, Nerdy Pandas at 7-3 who have secured second, and then we have Paid by Steve in third place currently with a 4-6 record. We have after that Squirtle Squad with a 3-7 record, and then both of these teams here 2-6. But that could all change tonight and completely flip the bottom four teams in the standings.
Oh yeah, so depending on the outcome of this game, we could go into a three-way tiebreaker if the teams go 1-1. If 2-0's in either favor, that team will secure the playoff spot. So this could be very interesting the way it goes.
Yeah. So Dandelion Knights, if we draw up some scenarios here, if Dandelion Knights 2-0 Ravenous Kumquats, we'll see the Knights advance, secure their spot in playoffs, and come to a 4-6 record. They will then play against team Paid by Steve to determine who gets that third and fourth seed. So if Ravenous Kumquats, on the other hand, 2-0 the Dandelion Knights, same exact situation, except for this time the Knights are eliminated and the Kumquats will go to a tiebreaker versus Paid by Steve. So either way, no matter what result we get, we're looking at some kind of tiebreaker. Now, the more interesting scenario obviously happens if these teams 1-1, which is what both Team Paid by Steve and the Squirtle Squad are rooting for. Now, that one-on-one or one-to-one game will put three teams at a 3-7 record that will be playing for that last fourth spot. So, Paid by Steve, of course, rooting for a 1v1 or a 1-1 this series because that means they do secure that third place spot and avoid playing the Titans of the Rift, Spaceman Spiff, in the semis. Want to avoid those guys at all costs. Some of the best and most talented players to grace the Rift. Unbiased caster again here, of course.
Always unbiased.
Yeah. So, a lot riding on how this matchup turns out. And yeah, these two games are going to decide the bottom four seeds here. So, Karen, tell us a little about what we're looking for as far as maybe the draft or the play styles that these teams like, the lanes they like to focus on, and maybe give us a little bit of insight on what we're keeping our eyes on as far as maybe the drafts go.
All right. So as far as what I'm hoping for is I'm expecting to see out of the Dandelion Knights. I want to see their ADC pop off. I think he is their main win condition.
Mm-hmm.
The what are they? The Ravenous Kumquats have more like an even spread of rankings. They're all gold 3 to gold 1. Whereas Dandelion Knights are spread. Their best player of their ADC is Plat 3, and then their worst is their support at Silver 3, or at least ranking wise.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a bit more spread out than the other team.
Yeah.
Their top laner, Wookiee Warrior, is a pretty consistent, decent top laner. He'll be a good rock for them up there. Jungle and mid are both sitting in at Silver 1 right now. I think that they won't have too much issue keeping up in the rank differentials. So we got to see if their ADC is going to be able to pop off and pretty much carry their support through the laning phase.
Yeah, and for the Kumquats, they play, like Karen said, a little bit more well-rounded as far as the threats that can come from different lanes. But they are also a team with a strong ADC and have used that to build compositions around it at times. So Electro, who will be playing AD carry for the Kumquats, is actually one of their top performers all season long. So we'll look to both of these AD carries to likely be the focus for the team. Now, while the Kumquats have played more team fight focused compositions, they like to pick tank jungle, tanky top laners and build around team fighting. The Dandelion Knights have actually picked up a lot of wins this season or a few wins this season by throwing some teams off with some unique picks. So they actually ran an Annie mid. One game took a game off of Paid by Steve. They've had a couple of games where they've ran Shen jungle and Jarvan mid to teams off with those interesting flex picks. So expect to be surprised, I guess, seems like an oxymoron, but expect to be surprised by the Dandelion Knights, as they could throw some funky champions out at the Kumquats and see how they react with a more stable composition. So we'll keep an eye on that going forward.
One thing I would love to see is their top laner, Wookiee Warrior, has a very niche pick in his Shaco top. If they pull that out, especially in Game 2, if they lose Game 1, I would be very interested to see how that stacks up in a competitive 5v5 environment.
Yeah, it does, and that actually is very interesting because the week that Spaceman Spiff, our team, played Dandelion Knights, they actually pulled Shaco top out in Game 2 and ran it with a Wukong jungle and had gone the Shen jungle Jarvan mid before. So some very interesting stuff that these guys could bring to the table. Quick update though, we are loading into the tournament draft lobby. We're just finally getting the jungler, the substitute jungler here from the Dandelion Knights to hop in the lobby, and I think we should be getting this pro draft underway in any moment.
Pro draft's actually almost done.
Oh.
I'm not even in the game lobby, so I don't even know they started it.
Yeah, no right.
So picks right now. They have they picked Nocturne, Alawi, Morgana, Pantheon for the Dandelion Knights. Ravenous Kumquats have Kayn, Thresh, Vayne, Rengar, and just finished up with Draven.
Yes.
The last pick for TDK coming in right now.
Okay, yeah. So Zilean, first pick, and then Gnar and Leona. And the Ravenous Kumquats have selected Shen, Karthus, and what looks like Yuumi. So I think this is one of our first chances to see Yuumi here in competitive in this league. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think any games with Yuumi have been streamed yet. So.
No, definitely not streamed. Possibly played, but yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. So got 2 picks left from each team. Keeping an eye on some of these bans. So
that will be Shen top and Hecarim jungle. Still have to see the ADC coming out of Ravenous Kumquats. So it's interesting that they saved that for their counter pick.
Yeah, and we mentioned how both these teams are very AD carry focused, so maybe there's a couple matchups they don't want to play against. And it is going to be a Kai'Sa, pretty safe passive laner, but with a Leona, you can proc that passive on the Kai'Sa a lot and put out a lot of damage. So we'll see what the Kumquats respond with here at ADC. Going to be going with the Yuumi. The Kumquats, or the Dandelion Knights, have yet to lock in their jungler, I believe. So, got a few more seconds to make that happen. Jarvan. Okay, so
Jarvan Gnar, that's a good combo.
And the last lock-in for the Kumquats is going to be the Xayah. So Xayah actually very strong in this meta right now. Much better independently of the Rakan. Normally you like to see those two champions taken together, but we see the Xayah picked first over the Rakan and actually can do very well by herself. So we haven't had a whole lot of time to take a look and see what's picked and banned, but anything catch you off guard or that you're keeping an eye on here as far as the draft goes?
So the things that I'm taking an interest in, mid lane Zilean, that's going to be really fun. I don't really know too much about most mid lane matchups, so I'm not really too sure how it's going to stack up against the Karthus. But that all could be huge to deny any Karthus ults as long as Zilean's nearby.
Yeah.
Gnar, I think it works fantastically with a Jarvan. That's always an amazing combo to see pulled out. You know, Jarvan just comes down, plops his ult down, and suddenly Gnar's got walls all over the place.
Yeah.
Great for his Mega Gnar ultimate combination. Leona, plenty of engaged tie up with the Jarvan, so I mean, all in all, they're definitely going to be looking for team fights with that comp. They want to pick people out and just run it down from there.
Yeah, the one thing to keep an eye on with Team Dandelion Knights is the fact that if the Kai'Sa does not get ahead early, maybe a concern for them, is they do have a Zilean mid, and Gnar going to be building that Black Cleaver for the split push versus the Shen, and most likely will be relegated to that 1v1 lane, as it's hard to group up versus the Shen, who maybe is going to be building a split push build. So without a whole lot of damage, if this Kai'Sa gets put behind, that could be a concern for them. with not a lot coming from mid and tanks all around the other way. So, but if they're able to get this Kai'Sa head into a good spot, 2-3 items in the mid game, they could do a whole lot of damage in team fights with this composition, which is what this is built for. Put the Zillion ult on the Kai'Sa and let her run free. What are you seeing from the Ravenous Kumquats as far as the strength in their team goes?
So, although they do the Shen, I don't see it winning a split push against Gnar. It's got the range disadvantage. He's not going to be able to push him or do anything once he pushes the tower, if he can even push the tower with the wave clear out of Gnar. He does have the ultimate advantage along with teleport, so he is more global than Gnar is. But as long as they can force split push and objectives elsewhere more frequently than Gnar has teleport up, then they can win the split push. But it's going to require that team-wide coordination.
Yeah.
Beyond that, Karthus brings a lot of global pressure alongside the Shen, so that will help them get pressure bot lane, especially early, post 6, while the lane phase is still ongoing. So that'll be really good for the Yuumi and Xayah.
Yeah. And that's
very strong jungler. I personally love to see him on my team. He can definitely do some really good ganks, especially early on. If things like Gnar are going to be pushed up, then yeah, I think it's all a pretty solid team comp.
Yeah, and that's a really good point that you bring up, in the ability to 5-man dive bot or affect the map with global pressure, because we just mentioned the win condition for the Dandelion Knights being get this Kai'Sa head, get her to a good spot, 2-3 items where she can start putting damage in this fights, because she is going to be relied on as the primary carry. But Ravenous Kumquats do have a very good composition at being able to shut her down. If the Xayah and Yuumi can push up with their range advantage and send a Hecarim down and a Shen to ult the Hecarim, maybe tower dive, get a Karthus ultimate in there, they definitely have the tools to shut down this Kai'Sa and build an insurmountable lead that a late game composition like the Dandelion Knights maybe will not recover from. So picking at that win condition for the Dandelion Knights is a good thing to do for the Kumquats, and I think they've picked the right champion select to do so.
Yeah, so I think what they really need to try and do is get early the lead on Kai'Sa Leona, so that they can keep pushing that against the Xayah Yuumi.
Yeah.
If they can keep that up, they get ahead. They don't really. I mean, with the presence of Jarvan, if he stays bot lane, they'll win the 3v3 as long as they get to all in. If it gets too much poke, too much, or if they're able to disengage on it, then the lane's going to turn against them heavily.
Yeah, so the Knights do have their own tools. The Leona Jarvan is actually very good, and like you said, I do believe the 3v3 is won by them, but then of course you have to factor in the Shen and the Karthus. So these teams have to be very focused and clear in their communication when they're making a play, calling out the cooldowns of these high-value ultimates, like the Stand United and the Requiem, to make sure they're not, then Kumquats are not running into a trap, or neither are the Dandelion Knights. So very, so it's going to be. I mean, these compositions are kind of easy to execute in a sense, but also they're very difficult in that one mistake and you can fall prey to 5 abilities being used globally from the Kumquats. So very, very cool to see how this one plays out, and I do think the junglers will impact this game early. So Hecarim, ability to gank, around level 3, 4, 5 with his charge. He can run into a lane and start dealing a lot of damage. Jarvan obviously has potential to gank as early as level 2. So we'll see if they pick a good lane to go on and get advantages early. So just hitting that spectator delay now. About 3 minutes left to be able to hop in that game. Gonna be pretty fun. I personally have not seen Meg Average play Karthus, so this will be cool to see him in that mid lane. And then the Zillion, of course, probably going to be more of a passive farm lane, but we'll see how that plays out.
One thing that the Ravenous Kumquats have going for them is, the
Dandelion Knights.
Dandelion Knights. Thank you. I was dribbling. One thing they have going for them is the long cooldowns on the global ults coming out of Kumquats.
Yes.
The Karthus and the Shen. Those are both like 2-minute long cooldowns, if I remember correctly, somewhere in that region. So you get wide openings when they use them early on.
Yeah.
You can make plays happen if you can bait them out effectively, but it's going to be a bit difficult to do.
Yeah, and that's why these teams, it's so important that they stay coordinated with the plays that they make, the Ravenous Kumquats, because if they don't get value out of these big ultimates, then like you said, the Dandelion Knights are actually could be superior in their ability to 3v3 or 2v2 around bot lane if they get the right engage timings when those ultimate cooldowns are down. So that's something we have to focus on, is when those Requiems and Stand Uniteds are being used. So about a minute and a half till we get into games. If you're just joining us, this is going to consistently, probably very consistently, discuss the playoff implications of this game. Both of these teams looking for a 2-0 to secure their playoff spot. A 1-1 would result in a 3-way tie, which probably discuss a little bit later as to how that's going to all play out, because you can write so many rules, but when it comes down to how these odd situations play out at the end of the season, you kind of have to figure it out as you go. So very very big series for these guys, and both teams looking to get out to an early 1-0 start, put themselves one game away from clinching that 4th seed, or 3rd or 4th seed.
I just hope both teams have fun.
Yep, classic. Both teams have the equal amount of fun.
Equal amount.
Yeah.
Exactly equal.
Like a 1-1 amount of fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
3-way tie, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, I forget how we're gonna... I forget how we would play that out, because I believe you guys have the Squirtle Squad have the 2-0 head over the Ravenous Kumquats, if that were to be a match. But
yeah, we have the 2-0 over Ravenous Kumquats, so we automatically win a tiebreaker with them. I don't think we have to play a tiebreaker versus them. I'm iffy on our rules. I haven't read that in a while. But we are 1-1 with the Dandelion Knights.
Yeah.
So they have to be played out.
Yeah, interesting. Curious to see how that's gonna... If that ends up being relevant, that's be a crazy 3-way tie to sneak into 4th place. So, well, we're going to be loading onto the Rift here for this one. Karthus, we have the Dark Harvest. Any other unique runes that I'm taking a look at? Zillion with the Comet there in the mid lane. Jarvan Electrocute, not too new, as he is able to proc that pretty easily on a high value gank. Hecarim taking the Conqueror, definitely came into favor with the E nerfs to Hecarim, making his damage do a lot less, so the Predator didn't get as much value as it used to. So you see Conqueror a lot more on that. Xayah with a lethal tempo, and both these top laners taking Grasp, looking to farm up and probably impact the map.
Yep. And looking at it, everybody has a pretty good amount of mastery points on all their champions. The lowest amount is that Shen with 10,231 points. So everybody's at least fairly experienced with their champion.
Yeah.
A couple people in the higher ranges.
Alrighty. Looks like we're about ready to hop into this game here. Takes a little bit to load up the Rift, and we are on. So let's see if some interesting level 1 strategies come out from these guys. Hey, and by the way, in the chat, do let us know. We're taking a look at that chat, see if we any of our volume adjustments need to be made. If you can't hear the game sounds, or one caster is significantly louder or quieter than the other, do let us know, and we'll try and get that adjusted in game. So
Level 1 looks like standard start, 5 points. Nobody seems to be grouped up to invade or anything.
yeah. This team is fanning out here. Junglers in mid.
Nice little stare down.
Mm-hmm. Game sound needs a small boost. Okay, I'll try and bop that up.
Little dance off mid lane.
Yeah.
Oh, and first damage is going to go down on Zillion, hitting that Karthus with a nice little bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Psychopath.
Alright, how about now? Okay, got that fixed. There we go. Okay, perfect. Glad we were able to get these things figured out sooner than later. Alrighty, Wookiee Warrior stepping in. Take a little bit of damage. Yeah. Yeah, especially in a melee versus ranged lane where he may have trouble early on. It's nice to have that little boost. So both junglers starting towards their bot side, getting the benefit of leash from 2 bot laners and moving towards that top side of the jungle. So we'll see if they clash around top lane or if how the Scuttle Crab will impact these junglers crossing paths. But for now, it looks like just steady farming from all sides. Yeah.
Negram's just finishing his red buff now. Jarvan's already finished his 4th camp, so he's ahead down there.
Yeah.
It looks like Jarvan is planning to come up top lane. He's coming in through the tri-bush. Hecarim, though, is right nearby.
Yeah. See if these two meet here.
Nope. Okay, Jarvan's deciding to back off. Neither one had vision of the other, though. That would have been really dangerous.
Yeah. And with Shen pushed into tower, there's not a whole lot you can do with him. Although taunt lands and Hecarim's coming around. This might be a fight.
Oh, yeah. Hecarim's coming in. There's the ghost proc. Oh, the jump! Flash, not enough. Red buff and the Despair manages to pick him up.
Yeah, so such unfortunate timing from Rujin as he walks up there in the top lane and just misses out on seeing the pathing of Stun Card, who's able to sneak in behind him, and then it's that sad moment where you turn away for 1 second and all of a sudden your top laner gets ganked, and then
yeah.
That's too bad.
Rujin was thinking about, he got distracted by the Scuttle spawn time.
Yeah.
Now he's showing himself in the mid lane. Nice little hello Vel'Koz emote there.
Yeah. He is going to secure both Scuttles here, so a small consolation prize for his troubles there, but big deal for the first kill going onto Hecarim, because this is one of those junglers where if you get behind or are not able to secure the resources that you want to, Hecarim's a lot more useless than some other champions, so very good that he was able to secure that first blood. You'd much rather have that than probably on the Shen early, because the Shen Narn matchup is far less volatile than a Hecarim with who up a kill or down a kill might be.
Oh, absolutely. Let Hecarim get ahead. He can impact the other lanes much more effectively. But here we got him coming down bot lane. Leona's got taken down really fast. Got that good root coming out of Xayah. So,
yeah. And no ward spotting out the pathing of the Hecarim. I'm not sure if he walked over that Scuttle Crab warded area in the middle of the river. If he was spotted on that. But anyways, just placed a pink down there and walked in behind the bot lane for Dandelion Knights and picked up a kill for Electro. So that's huge going to the Xayah early. And definitely a catalyst for her to accelerate this lead over a Kaisa who needs to scale and farm.
Oh, yeah. Fortunately, though, Kaisa is still able to be in lane, pick up that CS, so she's not falling behind in XP, even if she is a bit behind in gold after that kill.
Yeah.
Yara, though, getting some deep vision by the red buff. Gonna help them keep track of the Hecarim.
Yeah, so this is really good to see for laners who actually push out and get priority. You always want to make something happen with the time that you're using. You never really want to sit in lane and show yourself to the enemy top laner while you've got your wave shift in. You always want to leave lane, make them think, make them ping you missing, make them chat about it for a little bit, or even better, get some vision, like Wookiee Warrior did there in the top lane.
It's all about establishing those little leads early on that can turn to big leads later.
That's right. So Stun Card going to getting those boots early for a little bit more damage. See if he finishes his jungle item or goes straight into a Triforce with the lead that he has. Not sure what the best build on jungle Hecarim is, or if it still is that Triforce Cinderhook, but I'm sure we'll find out in a minute, as he does have some gold to spend when he goes back.
Right now, not a lot's going on. People are just kind of farming up right now. A couple of people cycling back to lane from recalls.
Yeah. You see both the Zillion and the Karthus building those tiers in the mid lane. Definitely going to want to stack up that mana ability to throw more spells as you get into the late game, but neither one of them really wanting to engage in any fights early on. But round level 6...
Getting caught up on the Jarvan. Zillion gets the double stun, but Shenol coming in. Is engaged back on the Zillion. Second bomb blows him up, and now it's a 2v2 mid lane and top. Jarvan gets out. Oh, Karthus ultimate. He manages to heal off of the plants. Flashes his master.
Now
I think that
Zillion
was
in
well
trouble.
deserved.
Yes.
Yeah, Zillion's going to get out too.
Yeah, so really well played from the Dandelion Knights. They are able to secure that early kill, and the priority that Mystic Wave established in the mid lane with the Zillion meant he was able to roam over, get the double bomb, and kill him even through the Shen ult. So well played from the Dandelion Knights, and good little boost to what was starting to look like a rough early game for them.
Yeah. Establishing that vision, as we just mentioned, that pink ward that the Jarvan was sitting on was enough to make sure that Hecarim didn't know he was there, let them get the engage. He had Zillion already move over, so they were able to get the stun off.
Yeah.
Kill on Zillion's going to help him. Fair amount.
Yeah. So stun card looking like he's building the parts of the Phage, which means he may go into the Triforce early and leave his jungle item to be completed there. Roscoe in the top lane on the Shen has opened up with the Tiamat. We expect to see him get ninja tabbies or a little bit of armor later on, but right now he's looking to commit 100% to the split push build.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious to see how that shakes up in the mid and late game. He's engaged on him right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Traded a fair bit of damage, but now that he's got no follow-up, and the Nar's able to trade back with even more.
Yeah, it's tricky with an early Tiamat because you're leaving yourself open to a lot of damage without having armor, and you see Wookiee Warriors able to trade very effectively on the counter engage with, 3-4 autos as he fell away. So
interestingly, Jarvan had a pink ward on his blue buff. And after taking the buff, he noticed it, attached it, pinged it, and then left it.
yeah, but it looks like we got a fight here around Dragon.
So Jarvan steals the dragon, gets the engage. They're going to get Karthus off of this one as well.
Yeah, huge play from the Dandelion Knights. So, the Ravenous Kumquats, they had a bit of confidence going into that dragon play, seeing the Jarvan on the top side near that blue buff, but Dandelion Knights were quick to rotate down to that dragon, and when you got a Jarvan trapping a couple of squishies in a pit, that's and an early rotating bot lane, Eclipse and Notaggro were very quick to come over and help out at that dragon pit, and very well played by the Dandelion Knights, and this is the first real gold lead of the game as they go up almost 2K.
Yeah, it was a huge gold swing for them. Air Drake isn't going to be the biggest thing for them, but it will help them keep pace with things like the global presence of the Shen and the Karthus, as well as just the speed of the Hecarim.
Yeah, exactly, and having the Requiem and the Stand United both spells down for that fight, as we talked about, definitely gave the Dandelion Knights the confidence to go in there full on a 4v4 and were able to easily win that fight. So
yeah, Shen ult coming back up any second now. Karthus ult will be up not long after, so they will have both their ultimates back ready for the next fight.
But for the Knights, they're going to be picking up some pretty big ticket items here. Mystic Wave still yet to back in that mid lane. I imagine he'll get pretty close to the Ludens here. And then, of course, Rujin on the Jarvan, looking to probably complete out his warrior here with a couple more camps. So, big first items about to come in for Dandelion Knights, and then they're definitely going to want to look for fights. Maybe the Herald is the priority.
Yep. So far, Mana Immune completed for the Kai'Sa. She's going to be looking to stack that up. Got Phage out on the Gnar, so he will be able to get the extra move speed boost to kite and chase after the Shen.
Yeah, so you see CCK Roscoe going into those ninja tabbies, definitely recognizes that he needs those pretty early if he's going to stand a chance in the split push. You want enough armor to support your wave clear so you don't just die while you're trying to take on the wave. So smart itemization choices from him, but it seems like the
Hecarim looks like he might be trying to do something bot lane. They haven't warded though.
Yeah, and Rujin is down here, so he's ready. We'll see if he tries to sneak into the brush to set up some kind of counterplay. And it looks like that is what he's going to do. So, yeah, not sure if they'll find anything here. Electro with the flash heal and his ultimate still up, so probably not going to be able to convert a kill off of that, but
probably not. Lane's pushed up, so once they clear that way, they might try to move up, but the push is warded.
Trying mid lane.
Oh, yep, there it is. Good Yuumi ultimate to catch him out, but he's able to get his own ult back off. Oh, heals quite a good amount off of that. He's like 3/4 full. He deserves.
Yeah, and while you are going to be able to maybe burn a flash or the ultimate, you're never really ever going to kill the Zillion under his own turret. I think Stun Card was just hoping to catch him a little bit more out of position, but Mystic Wave had those spidey senses and backed off towards his turret. He was able to resurrect safely with the ultimate.
Just a little bit of vision clearing going on right now. Ooh, Shen gets a Gnar under tower, stuns him. Trades a good bit of damage, but Gnar loses Mega Form and just trades it all right back.
Yeah, so the Gnar buffs recently enabled him to use that ultimate a lot more freely because of such a low cooldown. So you'll see these Gnars, every time they get Mega, they'll look for the ultimate.
Lane.
Oh, that's the Shen ult. They won it.
And Shen's able to get it, but he's taking a lot of damage.
Requiem, don't think it's going to do it, no.
Yeah, that's just the poor miscommunication from their team altogether. Shen was given Hecarim the signal to go in, but Hecarim wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah, and without the ultimate there from Stun Card, he's never realistically going to make that dive happen. Wookiee Warrior is just too high on health, and they burned both the Stand United and the Requiem on that play. Didn't even get a kill, so that's going to be the sign for Dandelion Knights to maybe force something around this mid lane.
Yeah, Jarvan and Leona were looking to dive the Carthus under tower. Oh, there it is.
They got it.
They catch him out. There's plenty of damage and CC coming out from them. And Kai'Sa actually gets hit with her W. Void Seeker seeks the target.
That was a good third of the map away, and a nice little bit of gold into her back pocket. And we were talking about this Kai'Sa as a win condition. Well, win condition enabled. 1-0-3 on that Kai'Sa with an even farm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hecarim.
Ooh.
Hit up on the Zillion.
Very nice double bomb.
Yeah, a little bit too low on health for that play.
Yeah, and while Stun Card was able to get a good lead earlier on this Hecarim, that has all but gone away as Mystic Wave lands a slick double bomb. And if he doesn't have his Ludens before with these plates and kill, he will now. So look for that Zillion to hurt.
That's looking like the Dragon's going to go over for them as well, now that they don't have to worry about the Hecarim contestant. Yumi's aware of it, but she can't do much on her own, especially against a Leona Jarvan. Way too much.
Yeah, very dangerous for Electro to walk over there as well on this. I don't want to step up into the river with the Zillion roaming down. So, while the first dragon was a cloud before, this is going to be a mountain now, and Dandelion Knights very happy about that one. As when you're ahead, getting that extra siege and damage to neutral objectives is such a big boost for your team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a team, they don't have the best Baron taken power later on. Oh, Hecarim's finding the Gnar. Yeah, he's able to just jump away. So yeah, they don't have the best Baron taken power later on. They don't really have anything other than Kai'Sa who can really chew it down. Karthus has to flash as well. Yeah. They're going to catch them with a roam and Leona. That's been really effective, those Leona's roams. She's managed to make a lot of plays happen.
And being able to get this Kai'Sa into a good spot with that early first item is so important for Dandelion Knights, as that just frees up No Dagger, like you're saying, to go around the map and try and look for some team plays. So if you're behind on that Kai'Sa, you kind of have to start babysitting her, but with the lead that she has right now, it's you can leave her alone and do some work on the rest of the maps.
We got mid lane though. There's the engage out of got a flash out of Mystic Wave. Yeah, they're gonna hand that over to the Jarvan.
Yeah, not sure if Zilly needed a flash there, but wanted to secure that slow onto McGaverage, who's gonna die without flash up. Unfortunate positioning there.
Gnar just spotted the Hecarim out top lane.
He's got Jarvan's behind.
He's not afraid at all. Bot lane though. So Xayah managed to pick up one. There's the flash.
Oh, so close!
Oh, the flag though! He just drops the flag and is able to pick that right up.
Back to top lane, we got a fight.
Though, yeah. Requiem's coming in. Hecarim ultimate knocks him down. He flashes away. Yeah, he's gonna survive that.
Yeah, so a lot of action down here, guys, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-for-1 overall with both ADCs going down. Miraculous that Rujin managed to survive that and secure the kill with the Demacian standard. Electro probably feeling pretty bad about that one as he had the opportunity to pick up a kill, but looks like top lane fight.
There's a jump away. He doesn't have flash. Oh, but he's going to get kited down just so short, but then Hecarim's coming in. He wants to secure it. Just a smite.
Yeah, making a statement with that smite kill, but well played Wookiee Warrior, able to kite out Roscoe and pick up that kill.
Leona and Zillion, though, are right there. He's walking right into it.
Yeah, this could be bad.
Double bomb. Leona stacking the stuns. Yeah, they're keeping him put. Got Knight down on him, and yep, there's the W proc on Leona.
Yeah.
It's the second time now that I'm thinking of that. Poor Hecarim's just walked into a bush with no vision.
Yeah, and that's huge credit to Dandelion Knights for roaming their laners around and being able to anticipate that kind of play. Wookiee Warrior actually able to absorb a lot of pressure in this top lane. I don't know how many times stun card's been up there, but able to get out of escape ganks multiple times, and they'll be rewarded with an early Herald. With Mount Dragon, that's going to be a tower for sure.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something. The question is what lane they're going to bring it into. They've already gotten the mid tower down, so I don't know. I would guess top lane is the most logical choice.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and make a play bot.
Zilean a little bit, yeah, both Leona and Zilean a little bit low, so they might recall, but you saw Wookiee Warrior TP up the top, Jarvan's up in that area, they may all walk back up and push, but we'll see where the Leona goes. Keep in mind, Notagro is the one with that Rift Herald, and it looks like he's going to be walking bot to join his Kai'Sa, so maybe we'll see the Zilean follow down there, or wonder what play is going to be made around that Herald.
It's worth noting the Kai'Sa's been left in pretty much a 1v1, 1v2 lane most of the time, while the Leona's been off roaming. Oh, but Jarvan coming in, getting the gank off top lane. Shen has no taunt. He has no. He just uses his flash. But there's the ult. Hecarim's trying to come back in. They might be able to return the damage on the Jarvan. Shen just barely goes down. They're CCing the Jarvan. Or the Hecarim. Yeah, he has to ult out of there.
Yeah, and that was an earlier commit from the Jarvan and the Gnar, and they're just able to take down the Shen before Hecarim was able to do any meaningful damage. Having not completed either that Triforce or that jungle item, he is a little bit too far behind now. And nice bush gank.
Would be a good time to drop that Herald. Oh no, Herald's bot with Leona. Forgot that she took it to the Zilean.
Yeah, not sure if they're going to want to just drop the Herald in a 2v2 situation. I do see Rujin roaming down on the Jarvan, so he might try and walk down there and provide support. But Stun Card and Meg Average are moving over as well, so
yeah,
may see a fight.
What they're looking to do right now. Oh, they're just getting blue.
Yeah. Dragon also up, so this bot lane is now definitely going to be the focus for both these teams. Stand United is up, Requiem is up, TP's up on the Karthus, but we'll see when it matters. Both teams trying to establish vision. Stun card. Gallop to safety.
Is he just going to do the Gromp right now? Not even going to attempt to steal it? I mean,
yeah.
It is just another Air Drake, but even still.
The Knights are starting this up, and it looks like they're going to secure it yet. No move to contest from the Kumquats.
That's 3 dragons now for the Kumquats.
Oh, they're going Electro.
He's got Yuumi giving him some kiting. Leona might be too far out on her own. Hecarim.
Oh, the Zilean ult.
Jumping in on Electro. Yuumi ultimate though, that's huge. Karthus is now in on the fight. Yo.
Oh man.
So
Requiem.
Wow.
Oh,
He's able to pick up the Zilean.
Yeah.
So they do get 2 kills back for that 4 though.
Yeah, but 4 kills overall to these guys, and you can just see the power of this Leona and the Jarvan and the Gnar going in. They were able to get the earlier chrono break. I forget what the Zilean ultimate is called, something, but
Chrono shift.
Chrono shift. They're able to get that early Zilean ult onto the diving Leona. So looks like they won 1 more kill.
Gnar is able to keep Shen slowed and tied down long enough for Leona to catch up.
Yeah,
Gnar up that lockdown.
Frozen Mallet and a red buff, that's no fun for anybody trying to run away from a Gnar, but
yeah. Herald is able to pick up 2 towers with that.
Yeah.
That's a huge swing for the Kumquats in game 1 right now.
So
only up 7.5k gold as well at 20 minutes.
Yeah, 16-6, and these second items are just a little bit away. See Eclipse just now completing that Rage Blade, so that's a huge power spike. Electro likely still 1,000 gold or so away from that second item Infinity Edge. Stinger also could be completed from Eclipse. You see Mystic Wave getting into that Rod of Ages actually pretty soon here. Bit of a later one, but one of the extra damage from the Lunes earlier. So second item is being completed here from the Dandelion Knights, whereas it's still just sitting on those first items from the Kumquats.
If you tab to the gold right now, you can see that the gold lead is pretty spread across the board on all 5 players. There's no one player with a massive lead or anywhere that's particularly close. So they're just kind of winning in every position.
Yeah, each player looking about 1 to 2,000 up. I think the biggest differential is in that top lane where CCK Roscoe is down about 1,800 to the Wookiee Warrior, but then again, there's a few other lanes that have that kind of differential.
Yep. There's the Leona engage in on the Shen, but yeah, they're not going to be able to do anything. Hecarim, ooh, bit of a forced ult. Yumiel missing everybody. Oh, yeah. I don't know if this is going to be too good for them. They're down 2 ults. There goes Hecarim. Leona engage, stun up people. Jarvan's ult has people tied down. Fighting a little bit on the Karthus, so he did return some damage, but once again, Zillion's revived the Leona. They're trying to chase down the Xayah.
Oh, there's the ult.
Able to just paw her down.
And that's an ace for the Dandelion Knights as they just group up and go big in that team fight. Zillion ult coming huge again. They only lose 2 and take down all 5 members of the Ravenous Kumquats. So this team fight comp with the item lead and the gold lead that they have is just overwhelming. Too much for the Kumquats to deal with right now.
Yeah, looks like they're backing out right now. I don't know. I think they could have gotten that other tower leaving. Hecarim only just now getting there. The minions been there long enough.
You did have the potential of a Hecarim engage with the Stand United from Roscoe, which was up. So playing it safe definitely for the Dandelion Knights as they're going to go back, spend their gold, get those items, and maybe look to establish vision around Baron, the next major objective on the map.
So you're looking after the aftermath of that fight. Gold lead-wise, nothing too... It's still pretty standard across the board. Nothing too crazy still.
Yeah, everybody looking around 2,000 to 3,000 now as the gold lead has ballooned to about 10K overall for the Dandelion Knights. Wookiee Warrior on that Gnar just completed the Black Cleaver, so he'll be at a very strong 2 items, and Roscoe really can't step anywhere near this Gnar. He'll just run him down with the Frozen Mallet.
Oh, yeah.
Rujin.
Slow your enemy, speed yourself up. There's no escaping that.
Yeah, red buff would be even bigger deal. It looks like he does have it. Gonna hit level 14 here with that Zillion passive, and looking to grab that Mega Gnar and throw a few enemies into walls here. So
poor Hecarim was even trying to get the last bit of farm that he could in this race, and even that got stolen from him.
Yeah, he's getting pretty close to that Triforce, but we'll see if it's just kind of too little too late here, as Hecarim from behind is one of the worst possible junglers you can have on your team.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Triforce looked to be a good pickup early on in the game, but after the lane just kind of, or the jungle kind of switched on him, yeah, it's no longer paying off.
3rd Cloud Dragon here for these guys, and it looks like the Dandelion Knights won't be challenged on that, so while that's not Mountains or Infernals, it is something as far as rotation goes. They might want to split into maybe a 1-3-1, or, you know, I guess Zillion doesn't have TP, so that might not be the best idea, or at least a 4-1 where they can take advantage of rotations and use these Cloud Drakes to their full effect.
So the big thing about the Cloud Drakes and the fact that they have 3 of them, they are starting Baron. Looks like they are rotating over. They know something's up even if they can't see it.
Yeah, Kaisa is burning this. They have to be quick.
Hecarim's trying to get in there, but nope. Zumi ultimate coming in, but they spread out instantly.
Oh, double taunt. Very nice.
Yep. Leona's going down. She gets ulted, though. They managed to pick up the Jarvan kill. Gnar
there comes the Gnar.
Stuns everybody up. Hecarim, or sorry. Yep, they're all just getting taken out. Gnar was the hero that they needed in their final hour. Just showed up, CC locked everybody, and flipped the fight all around. Yeah,
it looked very good initially for the Kumquats as Roscoe was able to land that Shen taunt onto 2 important targets. But once the carries started arriving from Dandelion Knights, the gold lead was just too big in the items that they had completed. And another big ultimate from Wookiee Warrior on this Gnar. Very well played so far this game, and it looks like they'll secure at least an inhibitor, maybe 2.
Yeah, they got the minions right down there. Leona's heading down with her Baron buff to get them moving. So yeah, Death Timer, they are all respawning. I don't think they'll be able to get anything.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of an overstay. We'll see if the Kumquats look to engage. They've got all 5 up, but the ultimates are there. And
a little bit slow. A couple of team members went mid lane rather than engaging. Yep, Gnar's him down.
Nice ult. Flings them all back.
No, I think if they all rushed bot lane rather than clearing up the CS mid, they might have been able to catch them.
Yeah, but in the end, they did not lose that bot lane turret. It is very low. I'm not sure if that one's going to be regenning or not, but they are able to keep does not. Okay, so definitely a return to the scene of the crime there for the Dandelion Knights to finish that one off. But at least the silver lining.
Oh, sorry, it does reach up. I'm wrong. I'm a liar.
Oh, okay. Well, then on the bright side, the Kumquats being able to get out of that ace with only losing 1 inhibitor is maybe something you can play around. At least there's more farm for the Karthus or the Xayah to pick up in the mid lane, as that wave's always going to be shoved in.
They are rotating bot lane, so they are looking to get that other tower down. Finish it up.
Rouge going to finish this blue and then likely join his team down there. Wookiee Warrior going down as well. He does not have a TP, so just going to group with that team and see if they can 5-man. And Kumquats frantically scrambling to pick up some scraps of CS and jungle camps before they join, and we'll probably see another 5v5.
A little bit of damage in on the Karthus, going to get healed back up by Yume. I don't think they really have all that great of wave clear right now, not against the Barons anyways. Karthus is doing what he can, but
yes,
still taking shots. One more and that'll be the tower.
And
yep,
there it goes. Yeah, Electro playing Xayah, very short range AD carry, so it's actually very hard for her to step up to the wave without being in engage range of the Leona, so definitely want to play that pretty passive. Meg Average dealing with the mid lane wave, so that's just going to go down really quickly.
And top lane trying to shove that, but I don't know. He's got to be there. I mean, they're not engaging, so they're not using the Shen'el.
Yeah, and here it comes. They're going in. Dives on both sides.
Zumi ultimate, Shen ultimate. Their tanks are in the back line. They're just kind of separated though. Leon, Kai'Sa has Zillion ult, but she's no longer in danger.
Yeah, there they go.
Yeah, Nars picks it all up. That's going to be the fight. Xayah doing what damage she can do with Karthus there. Fountain Laser less than pick up 2 of them though. They got a little bit too far up. Karthus
Requiem.
ultimate. Does Xayah have the heal? She does not.
Ooh,
Xayah's
Electra able to turn
one.
it. Oh, this
Zayah
could be the defense.
Zillion.
Holy
moly! The minions, I think it will. Wow.
And maybe a bit of an overdive, or definitely a bit of an overdive from the Dandelion Knights as they lose 2 members to damage from the Fountain, and Electro against all odds, able to kite that one out, supported by the Requiem from Meg Average, and stall the game out. A little bit of hope for the Kumquats here in Game 1.
Yeah, they're not out of it entirely yet. See if they're able to do much more off of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Net's push though could be very dangerous for them. We'll see if they can stall it like Squirtle Squad last night.
Yeah, that was quite the fun game to watch. Multiple fights won in a row with their backs against the wall, but in the end, what was it, the 9th or the 10th Elder Dragon that was taken was just too much. Third, same thing. Ocean Drag now spawning here. The Dandelion Knights are going to pick this up real quick. Maybe a little bit of boost to their siege, which is exacerbated by double inhibs down and an exposed Nexus. But you'll take a free dragon in case it goes to the Elder.
Not sure if they really need it, but you know, can't hurt them at all, so might as well. Question now is, are they going to go top lane and try to get that last inhib, or are they just going to walk it with the supers through mid and bot?
Yeah.
It's looking like top lane is the answer, though.
I think so, and that's what they're going to go ahead and do. It's still going to be a little bit before those inhibitors respawn down there in the bot side, so they're going to try and knock down this last bit of standing gold and hopefully eventually get to the point where they have all 3 inhibs down.
Mid inhib is actually respawning very soon.
Okay, so
it's out. No longer has super minions pushing in the mid lane.
Got it.
It'll be up in the next 3 seconds or so.
Okay, so Roscoe with his Stand United is back up, going to look to clear out this wave, and that's a very nice thing about the Shen is you're actually able to join your team quickly and effectively there, but turret's already gone down, and we may have a fight here.
Ooh, Hecarim. There's the Stand United on the Xayah, kind of wasted though along with the Xayah ultimate. We got Nargo and Mega Record coming out, they're fighting on top of the Karthus, but they do manage to kite it back. Jarvan's just trying to get damage on it before he goes down, he knows that's his fate. Kai'Sa though,
man,
went down. So Xayah still up along with the Yuumi and the Jarvan. They're gonna hold this a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Will they be able to save that mid inhib though? They don't have the best inhib taken. Did you notice it now? So she's heading down. Got the Yuumi.
And they're gonna force him off of that mid inhib. So
the base is standing.
Yeah, very well played on that fight from the Ravenous Kumquats. It looks like Electro's getting a lot more freedom to get a lot of auto attacks down in these fights, and on Isaiah with 3 items close to 4. He's looking very strong and actually is able to start cutting through this front line that bullied him early on in the game. So
good pickup with the QSS for Zaya as well, though. Helps him get out of any CC from the Leona, the double bomb stun.
Yeah.
R.
And I think that fight could have gotten a lot worse. The Wookiee Warrior actually landed a very nice empowered W from the Mega Gnar form to stun Electro as he was raining down auto attacks. So it could have been a lot worse for the Dandelion Knights, but definitely that QSS.
This looks to be the move. They're denying the vision right now.
Yeah, the Kumquats could look to contest. They've got all 5 members pushing up here. Dandelion Knights are just going to start it, yeah.
They know it's being started. They're ready to test it. They don't have vision on it, though.
Wookiee Warrior in base. He's looking for a TP deep. Oh, this is going to be the play. It's all a bait as he may go in and try and end the game. He's going for the Nexus.
He's going to go with. Zaya tried to recall, but he gets stopped by the Jarvan. Wookiee Warrior's there.
Yep. They're going to cancel all the recalls. This is just going to be game. Get this game on that Gnar. Just a few more autos.
Nothing that they can do to stop it at this point.
Desperation TP.
It gets stopped. That's it.
That's
Gnar with the back
GG.
door, the Baron bait. Beautifully executed by Wookiee Warrior and his team.
Yeah, and we definitely looked at that TPing Gnar from the base, and things turned a little bit suspicious. A nice play set up by the Dandelion Knights as they were able to go into that, force Kumquats into a lose-lose situation. I thought the Kumquats had a chance if they were going to be able to fight for that Baron, but Knights said, nope, we'll just take your base and make this thing 1-0.
Yeah, so that's the very difficult situation when you're down without your inhibitors are down and you have no Nexus towers left. That backdoor is something you always have to watch for.
Yeah.
In the second game of Squirtle Squad the other day, when we had no inhibs, we never had all 5 leave the base.
Yeah.
At least 2 people had to stay back to watch the Zed backdoor.
Yeah.
That's gotta watch for.
And you can't really blame the Kumquats for their thought process. They were actually starting to gain some traction in these fights, so it was only natural of them to want to play around that 5v5 team fight and try and see if they can get that advantage back. But regardless, game 1 goes to the Dandelion Knights. Going to take a quick break. Everything still doesn't decide anything yet. The Kumquats could come back with game 2 and force all these tiebreakers again. So we are going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Game 2, don't go anywhere. The fate of Shurima is right around the corner. Alrighty, guys, welcome back here. A little issue with the draft lobby showing the picks and bans, so let me see if I can fix that here real right quick.
Alright, so we're still waiting. Kane banned out on blue side. Red side returns with a not turn ban. Both junglers are getting targeted right off the bat. Ooh, quick bans coming out. Vayne for blue. Illaoi coming back out for the red team. So 4 bans in right now. Good Illaoi ban. Nobody wants to see that champion. Alright, so they wrap up with the Jarvan. They do not want to see Dandelion Knights pick that up again. That's a good change up from last game where it was left banned.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just want to talk about the draft as much as possible. I'm trying to get this link pulled up. But
boy, I'll just ramble for a while.
Yeah,
so
it's always a good
right
idea.
Now, Ravenous Kumquats about to lock in their first pick. They got 3 seconds left, and it will be Poppy. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be for their top lane. Very bold to first pick Poppy. Could be punished by quite a fair number of counter picks. So I'm excited to see what Dandelion Knights respond with. They do pick up the Zillion, so they are running Zillion again. Don't know if their support plays it or if that's a guaranteed mid lane pick. Could be looking to flex it. I've done my scouting too well for them. They first picked it last game too as well. Yep, I just looked. So that's something that they clearly do not worry about picking early. Not afraid of any counters. 2 seconds left, and yep, Kai'Sa. So they do pick up the Kai'Sa Zillion again. It's apparently a combo that they are very willing to double down on. We'll see how it pays off for them. Now back to Ravenous Kumquats. 13 seconds left on their second pick. They're taking some time to think it over and see what they want to do. A Mumu comes out. They lock that in. So right now they got a Poppy and Mumu. Lots of really good front line between the two of them. Good engage on a Mumu, good disengage on Poppy. Gives them a lot of options to control the fight. Tristana is the third pick for them. Good late game hyper carry, really good at tower taking potential. So far, I'm loving the picks from them. They got a very strong front line to control the flow of the fight, and Tristana can safely put out a lot of damage with that range. 8 seconds left on Dandelion Knights to pick their next champion. Thresh comes out. Okay. Thresh Kai'Sa bot lane. Pretty solid bot lane. Can't really go too wrong with that. Nice and safe. "15 seconds as they wait to figure out what bans they want to go. Still looking. They banned out Shen, which is interesting with the Poppy picked already. Unless that's going to be played support. Then I don't. Oh no, I think Ravenous Kumquats, aren't they the team that plays the Shen jungle?
No, that's Dandelion Knights that actually play
that. That is Dandelion Knights.
Yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, unless Poppy is support, then I'm gonna have to disagree with the Shen ban then. What to see. Nara does get banned in return on the Ravenous Kumquats. They don't want to have to deal with that again.
Alright, looks like we're back. Looks like we're back on the stream, so actually our viewers can see what the heck we're talking about. So
nice.
Alright, so yeah, I don't know if you caught in the custom lobby in the client, but the Poppy is actually a Nautilus pick there. So
okay.
It's supposed to be first pick Nautilus for the Ravenous Kumquats. Nautilus Tristana, very strong lane. Tristana definitely a comfort pick for Electro, one of his better ADCs over the last couple of seasons.
Yep, alright. And I was really excited about the Poppy and the Mumu. It's such a good combo.
Yeah.
Alright, so Sejuani finished up the last ban there. A lot of bans thrown at top lane in the last rotation, 3 of the 4. Sejuani rounding out jungler pool. Okay.
Yeah, so Zillion, first pick there. Ooh, Lee Sin, nice on the jungle. So
a while, honestly.
Yeah, I guess Rujin liking these aggressive junglers with the Jarvan first game, Lee Sin second, so hopefully he's able to put out the same kind of aggression in a Kled hover and the lock.
All right, Ravenous Kumquats are bringing a lot of engaged tools to this game, and I love it.
Yeah, so Nautilus, Amumu, and Kled with the Tristana. We'll see what they round out their composition. McAverage is pretty good at these control mages. Don't know if I want to see the Karthus again, but an Orianna, that would certainly fit the bill, and it is locked in.
That is a beautiful looking team comp to me.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see that. Let's see what Dandelion Knights round out, though.
Yeah, they're looking to grab their top lane here as an answer to the Kled.
Silas.
Interesting. So Silas does have a lot, or quite a few good ultimates to take, specifically the Kled, the Amumu, and the Nautilus. Probably not as much the Orianna later on in the game, because you do have to set up your own kind of sombrero with that play. But definitely some good options as far as that hijack goes, but we'll see if their team composition is rounded enough to take on the brute force that's going to be coming out from the Ravenous Kumquats.
So, who do you think won the draft phase?
I actually do think the Ravenous Kumquats bounced back with a really good draft. This seems very simple to execute. Lanes are going to be farming very safely. I don't think this Kled's going to be having too much trouble under the Silas in the top lane. Orianna actually can farm very safely in the Zillion. I think they're able to hit their win condition a lot easier than they were last game.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Their team comp, all in all, synergizes with one another very well. Orianna has 2 great ball delivery systems, 3 great ball delivery systems. There's a lot of lockdown there. They have good, consistent DPS coming out of the Tristana and even Orianna.
So. Yeah. It's kind of tricky to see what the Dandelion Knights composition is going, or what their win condition is. They're a little bit of a pick comp maybe, or to try and get Kai'Sa in the late game and speed up with the Zillion. Then again, you don't have a whole lot of utility. It's kind of pure damage from the Silas and the Lee Sin. So I think you have to count on the Silas hijacking a really good team fight ultimate, like maybe the Amumu or Nautilus, and setting up a pick, but it just seems to me like the Kumquats have a much easier to execute composition. We saw the Dandelion Knights have the same type of composition, a team fight all-in dive, and they were able to pull it off very well, so I imagine they'll be a little bit worried that the Ravenous Kumquats will do the same thing to them in this game.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with everything you just said right there. They do look like more of a pick comp with Thresh, Hook, Lee Sin. I wonder if their jungler is going to be able to pull off an insect. That'd be great to see.
It is, and it does kind of have to start with that, realistically. Like, I'm not sure that I'm seeing any good disengage tools.
Definitely start a fight.
Yeah.
Zillion could potentially even start a fight with his double bomb.
Yeah.
All in all, their ability to start the fight is a lot less than Ravenous Kumquats.
Yeah, and oftentimes you see when a team picks engage, the other team will draft some sort of disengage to deal with that. I don't see a whole lot from the Dandelion Knights. So if the Kumquats are able to pick a team fight on their own conditions and on their vision, I don't really see how Dandelion Knights is able to step up to the table and answer with a good team fight, because they don't know a whole lot that can kite out. Sure, you can chrono shift one person with the Zillion ultimate, but it's looking a lot more well-rounded from the Kumquats. So let's see if the draft plays out as we analyze it on paper, and they're able to steal back a second game. So
I do just want to take a second here while we're getting ready to go in game. We'll have that 3-minute timer to give a little update on one of our other games tonight. Event Horizon versus Defiant down in the Dandelion Division. Event Horizon did take game 1 against Defiant, and right now they're 12 minutes into game 2, it looks like, with a slight lead for Defiant. So we'll see if they're able to pull it back in and 1-1 the series.
Yeah. Go check out Diving Stream there, as he is working to get some of these other games broadcasted. We had a lot of games scheduled tonight. There's also
3 of them.
Also an Ionian division match going on here. Rejected by Mumu's playing Uwu Gaming, and both teams are tied for first, I want to say.
Yeah, I believe it was said that was going to determine the first seed for a highest division.
As I'm looking at the standings here, both teams are 4-2, so that definitely would be the deciding first seed, unless, of course, the teams 1-1 each other. So
yeah, I really wish I paid more attention to Ionian this season, because all the teams are very neck and neck in wins and losses.
Yeah, you have teams that are 4-2, and then a couple at 3-3, and then the last team at 2-6. So no teams are running away with the league and no teams are falling too far behind. So very interesting there. No bigger fan of Ravenous Kumquats in the audience than we have, besides my co-caster right here. He's definitely rooting for them to take game 2. Because of course that would mean if Ravenous Kumquats is able to even this series a 3-way tie for 4th place. So
give my boys a chance to get in the playoffs.
Karen Franz is definitely rooting for his Squirrel Squad to get the opportunity to defend 4th place. So a lot on the line here. Who did you say Defiant was playing against tonight in the Demacian Division?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon, yes. So Defiant at 5-3 and Event Horizon at 2-6 from what I'm looking at. I believe since this is the last week, the playoffs have been secured. So Bronze 5 Age leading the pack at 8-2. They finished their last game. Noctua Esports at 6-2. They have yet to play their final week games. Insignia and Defiant tied at 5-3. And then we have a pretty big gap. Event Horizon and 23rd Airborne have been eliminated from playoff contention. But Defiant would love to pick up a couple wins right here and maybe see if they can jump into a 3rd seed or even 2nd seed spot and avoid having to play against Bronze 5 Age in that first round. Maybe save that for a rivalry finals matchup.
Ooh, that would be great. I know as a former Bronze 5 Age member, them and Defiant have a very strong rivalry that still goes on today, so it'd be great for them to get a chance to have that finals game.
Oh, yeah.
I promised I would cast it if that does occur, so hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah, if it's on a day that is preferable to me too, I might like to jump in there, depending on if anybody else wants to stream. That's always something you want to put up on the stream as a classic Defiant Bronze 5 Age match. So we'll keep an eye on. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those two teams as that stream progresses. Again, go check out Diving Stream. He linked it in the channel. What channel is that? The streams/VOD channels if you want to see the Demacian game. So, but back to ours. We have about 1:30 until the spectator delay wears off and we get to hop into game. Ravenous Kumquats down 1-0. The Dandelion Knights were able to take game 1 off of a very well played Nard, Jarvan, Leona teamfight composition. Kaisa got ahead pretty early. Clips was able to do whatever he wanted to on that pick in the fights, and they were able to take fight after fight and secure their major objectives. So now Ravenous Kumquats going to take a page out of their book and draft their own teamfight comp, and a fearsome one at that. A Tristana, Nautilus bot lane, Orianna in the mid lane, Kled and a Mumu there in the top side of the map, and look to do the same thing to Dandelion Knights as Dandelion Knights did to them. So hop in game in a little bit less than a minute and get that underway.
Yep. So do you think we're going to see anything funky level 1 coming out of Ravenous Kumquats? They got really good level 1, I feel like, with the Nautilus.
Yeah, you know they do, and we could. I don't think... I mean, we didn't see anything from them in game 1, but that's because neither of the teams had an incredible level 1. So I do think we could. I haven't watched either of these teams enough to know that they like to do level 1 strategies. I don't believe we saw much this season from either of them, so I imagine we'll just see a fan. I'm leaning towards that. But if one team wanted to make a move, they certainly do have the tools to do so.
I don't recall either team invading any of our games with them.
Yeah, not in mine.
Dandelion Knights do have the opportunity to clap back. Lee Sin and Thresh both pretty good early on.
Yeah. But Nautilus at level 1, you can't ignore the fact that he's able to stun all 5 members if he wants to, let alone that Dredgeline cast.
Absolutely. So we'll see if they end up doing anything funky here.
All right, going to throw us into the loading screen as we discuss Rune. Silas with the Electrocute. So Wookiee Warrior looking to put up some big damage there. The top lane, see if he can win out on those early trades. It's going to be difficult into a Conqueror Kled. I feel like Conqueror's the thing that everybody runs on every champion these days, but yeah.
Well, I run on Rumble.
Yeah.
So looking though, Kled is by far the lowest in terms of mastery at only 3,486 points.
Yeah, let's open these guys up here. Very important part.
The lowest that I'm seeing is in his counterpart Silas at 11,939. So we'll see how that lack of mastery affects his comfort level on the champion.
If you're TDK, you're really banking on the 233k from Rujin here. That's definitely something to keep your eye on. As opposed to only 30,000 from Amumu, and as you know, Amumu takes a lot more skill than Lee Sin. So having that 30,000 points is worrisome. But so yeah, see how things go in the game as we're loaded right onto the Rift, guys. Game 2, Dandelion Knights versus the Ravenous Kumquats, who are looking to even up the series at 1-1 and send our playoff picture into a world of delirium. So,
I have to say, Kled, there is a lot more to him than meets the eye, with his, especially once he Garl. So I'm wondering if he knows his limits once he gets down to that point.
oh, Karen, looks like we're seeing
double
both
invade at
teams.
the same spot. This might be a great level 1. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I'm so curious as to who this favors. A lot of upfront burst damage from the TDK lineup, but
No, they're going to spot each other.
yeah, they see each other. First hook lands.
Scarl gets hooked. They're hitting the bomb with him. He loses Scarl. Got flash out of the Zillion,
no.
flash out of him. Nautilus, though, is getting those hooks. There's another flash at Knight.
Oh, this is looking good
Guys
for the
are separated from our
Kumquats.
team.
Still has flash up. There's
A
Eclipse.
lot of damage on the
Oh, they're going in looking like it's a 2-for-1 overall. Now, McAverage in trouble as he's not able to secure that kill.
So many summoners, so many kills. Can
Oh,
Tristana get the
Tristana!
last one? Oh, she does.
It's 3-3.
Alright, these two should be able to pick up Thresh.
Look at this. They're going wild here. Wookiee
This
Warrior
is
has TP'd
so
back
crazy.
in and is
Oh,
coming around the back.
He's just to pull him. Oh.
Stun card committing for the tower dive. Uh-oh.
He's trying to get the return kill on the Kai'Sa. Oh, just barely survives the bomb. 3-5. What a bloodbath. At 1 minute 30 seconds in, we've already got 8 kills.
An unofficial
Wow,
ace.
3 of them are on Zillion and 3 are on Tristana. Who's going to run away with that lead?
Yeah, I'm going to turn my chat off here, but you can tell that CCK Roscoe Khaled in the chat has pinged that the Zillion has a 300 gold bounty. So already 1 minute and 50 seconds in. So, all right.
Wow. Start in lane with a tier. That's going to be very nice on the end. Alternatively, though, Tristana's walking the lane with a pickaxe. She's pretty happy with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, and Eclipse is going to be starting it off with a Sapphire Crystal. So not the power boost that he wanted, but we'll see which lead is going to matter more as McAverage already putting some harass down. And with the tier, you can spam a whole lot of mana, but your damage and survivability against this Orianna is not going to be enhanced with the early tier buy. So I think McAverage is still going to be fine in this lane.
Yeah. Lee Sin didn't get any leash from his bot lane with the late start. Pretty behind on health right now.
Yeah,
Should
so
be okay.
fortunately for Stun Card, I think he's going to be able to avoid Rujin in the early game. As a Mumu, you never want to run into Lee Sin unless you have some support from your lanes. But having him start that blue side on the top of the map is going to enable him to clear safely. His bot lane side is, we just see Rujin going to the top lane. So it looks like jungles are mirroring each other, and I definitely say that favors the Kumquats, as you don't want to be invaded or interrupted in your clear at all on a Mumu.
Oh, absolutely. All that chaos actually seems to have helped him thoroughly get aggression at least. Silas, though, has been doing some good trades on top lane. He's running low on mana. Did manage to pop Scarl off of Kled, so he's dismounted right now.
Yeah, so a couple of the nerfs to Silas, as we see bot lane actually
We got
engaging here.
Nautilus goes in.
Oh, there's Electro.
Tristana with a very aggressive jump forward. The heal just barely denies it and keeps Node aggro alive.
Gotta fight mid though. Mystic Wave, no flash.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna go down. Oh,
And back to the
goes
top
down,
side.
Left it on. Wow, okay.
And
Fight
back to the
epic.
bot side, Karen. You gotta keep up here, brother.
Please,
We're losing them in all
no.
lanes.
So much aggression. Just calm down for a second, guys.
Yeah.
Let us dissect one of the fights first.
So, crucially in the mid lane, having that kill, taking down Mystic Wave means that that's actually a shutdown, and that 300 gold bounty on Zillion is going to be consumed by Stun Card, who's now a very happy mummy, as he's going to be able to accelerate towards that early Cinderhulk. Doesn't see anything bot, but
Gets shown, so everybody knows where he is right now.
yeah.
Man. 10 kills, 4 minutes into the game. Wow.
Yeah, and gold dead even now, so
Bit of a golden lead for Ravenous Kumquats in every lane. Pretty good for them.
Yeah, this Tristana Nautilus lane I think definitely has the advantage, especially with the Electro's early pickaxe there. Kaligan is here. You can see him keep flashing for looks, and he lands one there.
Catches the Kaiser, though. Kaiser's already burst down to half.
Uh-oh, has he gone too far?
Tower, he's going to have to flash. There's the return heal. Barely gets out. That's 2 summoners down for them, though.
Yeah. Stun card fishing around
Led
for something
might be
down here.
engaging mid lane, though. That's a cheeky spot for him to be
Yeah, Mystic Wave, his flash is not up.
He's going to be able to get that pull down. Lots of damage coming in. Yep, he's able to pick it up with a little bit of help out of it.
Yes, Meg Average very happy about that one. Able to just put his ball in the Kled and press W with the command Dissonance. Picks up a nice kill on that Zillion, sitting at 1-1-4 now with a pretty healthy wave lead. And so Kumquats are actually pretty happy about how this has turned out.
Yeah, I mean, Kled is not a champion you'll usually see roam until level 6. So that was that definitely caught them off guard coming in at level 5. No ultimate, but Amumu's down bot lane, throws out the bandage toss, doesn't catch anybody. So the Nautilus
hook does.
Got Lee Sin coming in for the 3v3, but Thresh looks like he's going to be burst down. The shield out of Lee Sin, though, keeps him alive. Disengage all around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well played by the Dandelion Knights.
Good decision by Lee Sin to save his team rather than engage, continue the fight.
I saw on the back end of that fight as No Dagger went under tower, he actually threw a hook out and Electro very deftly flashed that. If he had gotten caught by the hook at the end of the play, Dandelion Knights maybe would have added a kill to that, which would have been very unfortunate. So nice flash by Electro to dodge that incoming hook as top lanes. No hesitation to brawl out.
They've been slugging back and forth. Oh, he might be looking to engage with that ultimate if he's got the mana for it.
Yeah, and we see Wookiee Warrior constantly. Yeah, we see Wookiee Warrior constantly running into mana problems here. And one of the major nerfs to Sylas, as we were talking about a week or two ago, was that his wave clear was actually significantly reduced. His passive damage taken down by 70%. So, meaning that the Sylases, if they're trying to spam and push out the wave, have to actually use a lot more spells to do so, which results in the...
Sylas is going bot lane with a Kled ultimate.
Oh,
They're going to be engaging with that. Kaiser doesn't have mana to follow up, though, unfortunately. Well, I don't think they'll need it. Oh, there's Nautilus engaging for them.
Yeah.
They stole this out just a few seconds more. Yep, there's the Kled ultimate. Thresh pulling the Tristana in. There it is. Sylas gets in. Thresh lives just barely.
Man.
Double kill coming in for them. Bad timing, unfortunately, for them with the Sylas Kled coming down.
Yeah, and the Ravenous Kumquats, to their credit, have been doing very well in their early harass, but just didn't have very nice roam by the Wookiee Warrior, and they went aggressive and got punished for it. So,
yeah, Sylas came top, taking a fight with the Kled. Kled was able to get Scarled, but promptly lost it. Pretty dangerous for both top laners to be there right now.
They average a trouble here.
Orianna, though, she gets the ball. Holy, there's Zillion manages to keep him alive with the ultimate, even though he didn't really need it. Oh, Orianna's returning so much damage. She almost had it so many times, but Tristana picks it up. She's got the jump, has to flash out for Zillion.
Yeah, a lot of action here early on. So due to the bot lane play, Wookiee Warriors roam able to secure 2 kills. That meant that the Dragon Knights could go onto that first dragon. Unfortunately for them, it was a Cloud.
And Sylas killed Kled top lane.
Yeah, we missed out on that one.
My direct to camera thought a ward to kill was more important than the tower dive top.
Yeah, same. So that's a pretty big surprise. Wookiee Warrior absolutely destroying this lane on the Sylas.
But catches the Sylas out. He's locked him down. Yeah, that's enough CC to keep him there long enough to get that shutdown kill.
Yeah, nice little roam by stun card.
A little bit of BM out of stun card. They're just kind of dancing.
Yeah. Now he's getting pretty big, likely able to complete the Cinder Hulk with that back. So Amumu getting nice and tanky, and with Tristana at 4 kills.
Gold in the pocket. He finishes up Cinder Hulk. Buys a set of boots, work treads, and armor. Ooh, cloth armor. So he's getting pretty tanky right now. Bit of MR, bit of armor, bit of health.
He is, and this is going to play very nicely into the teamfight win condition that Ravenous Kumquats have going. And the other big factor is this Tristana. You definitely want her ahead, able to put out the damage while the tanks soak up the damage.
I'm looking to make a move mid, but the ward is going to catch him out. They know he's there. All right, he kills the ward. Vaden Lee Sin here. Drops a ward, he sees Lee Sin. All right, yeah, just disengaging all.
Yeah, not really going to look for a play as Roscoe with stun card down there in the bot lane. But Zamumi could be looking for something bot, and there's no response on the map from Dandelion Knight. So
he's been making a play on Orianna. He gets in on her. There's the Orianna ult. But no, both just managed to chunk each other down to a little bit below half, it looks like.
yeah, not able to get it kicked off there, but here he goes
no,
in
he
with
comes
the...
back in. Red buff manages to pick it up. Good Lee Sin, knowing the damage that he could do.
Yeah, and a little bit disrespectful Meg Average to step back in, but it looks like we got a fight bot.
She's called out on her own. Lots of damage coming out. Oh, but Thresh and the guys are able to pick it back up. Lee Sin comes down. I think he's just going to get CC'd and caught down, yep. No escape for that Nautilus, fortunately for them.
Yeah, so very well played by the Dandelion Knights bot lane. They actually are able to secure the kill in the 2v2, and then Rujin with those mobility boots stepping down in the bot lane and grabbing a kill. Another kill for his team. So things were going well for the Kumquats earlier in the bot lane, but now Dandelion Knights have turned it around, and this Kaisa is off to another rip-roaring start at 3-0-4.
Kaisa's just now overtaken the Tristana in gold. 200 gold lead right now. A little bit more now that they just got another plate.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think this is exactly where Dandelion Knights should... Oh, they're engaged in top lane.
Yeah, stun
ult's not going to
here.
connect, but I don't think
Warrior
that
does have
matters
flash.
too much. Yep. Lots of damage coming out. They're able to pick it up. Goes on to a Moo.
Yeah, you would have wanted that on the Kled to get him a little bit more of an advantage and rush the completion of that Tiamat, but Ravenous Kumquats will be happy with that overall, as they are trading kills in the bot lane for their own in the top.
Yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, though, I think Ravenous Kumquats are right about where they can expect to be. They're not really a comp that's going to win early on. We'll have to see how they play out once they get to the mid and maybe late game. Lee Sin's coming in on the Orianna. Got teleport coming in from Kled. So it's a 2v2 here. Lee Sin's very low. They've got a... there's the Amumu catching him out. There's going to be no execute denial here. All five collapsed down. The bot lane didn't need a Amumu. 5-1-1. He's going to be a big front line.
He is, and that's some questionable aggression there from the Dandelion Knights mid and jungle duo. They walked into the jungle when their bot lane did not have priority, and they weren't sure where the Kled was. So well played by the Kumquats to take advantage of that, and they're able to put 2 more kills on the Amumu. And we'll see if he's able to make it worth it with...
Amumu spotted by these wards. Not going to be able to do anything there.
Dragon is coming up in a couple of seconds here. We're going to repeat the same Drakes from last game. It is a cloud into a mountain. So Kumquats have the map positioning. These top laners are fighting again.
Bit of a bad engage from Kled.
Oh, hook in bot lane. Here we go.
Oh yeah, bot lane. Thresh throws up the disengage.
Oh.
They do pick up the Lee Sin.
Electro securing the kill with the satchel charge. Great feeling for him.
A couple of hooks go out. Nobody hits anybody.
Yeah, but Wookiee Warrior here is roaming down, and it looks like the Dandelion Knights want this. No TP for Kled. This is going to be a 4v4.
The ultimate. Amumu gets a great ult off. Lots of damage coming out of Amumu, honestly, with the dragon on the back.
Oh, very close fight.
Nautilus turns in. Kaisa's got the ultimate up. It's gone now, so she's no longer got that. There's flash on Azillion.
Nice flash. Big fight and stun card. We talked about him picking up all these kills. Was he able to convert? He certainly was. Enormous 4-man Curse of the Sad Mummy, and it looks like they're not done.
Nautilus catches out Zillion. Yep, just disengages there. Nobody to follow up. So yeah, put down a lot more damage than the Dandelion Knights were expecting, and he was just able to turn the tide of the fight.
Yeah, but the Kumquats not starting off this dragon right after the fight. It looks like they want more. Megabbert's big flash ultimate.
Yeah, they're just kind of baiting it out. Oh, Tristana, you're a bit far up ahead. All right, good disengage, Tristana.
Oh, TP. Wookiee Warrior's in behind.
Teleported in from Wookiee Warrior. Catches the Orianna. He doesn't really have anybody with him. They're catching up now, though.
Oh, here comes the Amumu, though.
Nautilus goes down. Amumu's all alone. Tristana's on the wings, though. If she gets some damage down, she dodges the hook. Amumu slowed down. Yep, they're trying to go for it. Oh, Lee Sin, lots of damage. Bursts down the Tristana. Yep, looks like they just overstayed.
Yeah, and they weren't able to start the dragon off right away. They kind of rolled around the pit for a little while after that initial fight win. So that just enabled the Dandelion Knights to make a very confident play. Wookiee Warrior TPing in the back, and Roscoe without his up. I was always going to be a 5v4, and well played from the Dandelion Knights to assert dominance there and take a big fight.
Very good decision on their end to make that call to re-engage.
So the dust has settled a little bit. It is the Mountain Dragon going over to the Dandelion Knights again. Mystic Wave could be in trouble. He's just going to skirt out there.
Alright. We seem to finally have a lull in the action right now.
Yeah, so despite a lot of fighting, other than these dragons, no real objectives have been taken. It's just that top tower that Roscoe managed to take, and that is really the silver lining for that, is he was able to get himself back into this game. Now has a bit of a CS lead, got some gold in his back pocket.
So far this game, we've averaged 2 kills a minute. Oh, we got another engage coming out of the Kled. He misses the ultimate. Flash comes out. They've got it locked down with the Amumu. They focus down the fire, Lee Sin, and...
Oh, this is so close!
Very close! Oh! Can Kled get the double? It looks like he's going to be able to. Yes, he does.
Oh, and that's so huge for Roscoe as he's able to get 2 kills there in a 2v2.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Amumu went down, but I think it's totally worth it.
Kai'Sa
Kai'Sa gets caught out by the Nautilus. They are jumping right in on that, no hesitation. Tristana picks up the kill. Thresh is CCing her though. Yep, there's the heal. She's able to get the double kill. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. And that that fight is definitely how the Ravenous Kumquats wanted it to go. They got so much upfront damage from this Nautilus combo onto the Kai'Sa, and that's one of the most underrated things about Nautilus is his base damages. You look at him for his CC and pick him for the ability that he brings to team fights, but when it comes to the straight-up 2v2, you can see how much innate damage his spells do, and they were able to burst out Kai'Sa really quickly and take that 2v2, and now a turret.
You have to remember, Nautilus is a champion who can hold his own in the top lane. I mean, maybe not so much in the current meta, but in general, he's been fine up making a home up there. He can definitely bring damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So about a 2,000 gold lead that the Ravenous Kumquats have.
They're going for it.
Yeah.
So if they can do something with this Herald, that'll be very nice. I believe it was the other team who got Herald last game, if correctly.
Yeah.
Been taken by blue side both games. Zillion's nearby. Yeah, nobody's going to be able to test it.
With Electro and Caligonus Hero roaming up from the bot lane and eclipsing.
Silas, Kled, no, just disengage.
Yeah. Kumquats have all 5 of their members on this top side of the map, so they're going to be able to do whatever they want to for now. As
Kled goes in, Silas trying to back out Kled, though.
Yeah, with that completed Black Cleaver.
A lot of damage, though. Alright, so they just disengaged, but the Lee Sin in the meantime got caught out in a fight. And Shelly takes down the mid tower. Looks like Kai'Sa's just now rotating up.
Yeah, and now with the completed Black Cleaver, Roscoe is actually starting to win these trades, and with more members
Red
up here from the Kumquats.
Also, that's got him almost fully healed up after this. Well, he's all alone there, though. Shelly goes down, but there's a good ultimate out of the Orianna. Oh, Silas returns his own. Doesn't catch quite as many people. Zillion ult revives the Silas.
Oh, nice.
Managed to pull the Amumu and pick him up. So first kill of the fight. Orianna's out of mana. She's going to go down too.
Yeah, here come the Dandelion Knights on the chase, though.
Kled is slow. He's got no mount. Scarl, where are you? Good dodge.
Yeah, able to get out of there.
Finally here, though. She returns a decent amount of damage. Kind of scares the Kai'Sa off. Managed to put out some more autos. So yeah, that's where it ends. Scarl, the cowardly mount, left for Kled all.
Yeah, so Mystic Wave buying a lot of time with that Zillion ultimate. Stun Card and Roscoe definitely taking a few too many turret shots, and they were actually got picked off by Notagru, who played that latter end of that fight very well, able to secure a couple of good hooks and get his team a couple of kills.
So Silas had finished his Zonias by the time of the fight. I believe that was the first time he had it as well, which is something that they were not expecting, and bought them even more time. And by the time that ended, Zillion ult revived, or popped and then revived him. So a lot of time was bought. So we got Dragon spawning in 35 seconds, though, so we'll see if that's the next objective. It is Infernal.
Yes, indeed. Not going to have the 3 clouds, probably, like we did last game.
Everybody, all of blue except for Orianna's bot lane. Not so huge on the idea of sending her to be the one up there.
Yeah, Wookiee Warrior, though, does not have his TP yet. It actually is about, I'd say, 15-20 seconds away. So maybe if the Knights stall this out for a little bit longer, they will have a Silas TP to work with, but I think Nag Average needs to start making his way down here because Infernal Dragon, really big for either team.
Do have pinks on the pit, so that's not visible, but there are wards on the outskirts of it.
Yeah. Kumquats have
kind of staring each other down.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both bought enough time for their one straggler to catch up. Oriana's almost there. Does Silas currently have an ultimate stolen?
No, he's got his own right now, so he needs to look to step in and grab something, but Rujin,
Oh, Oriana gets caught out, though. She's going to take a lot of damage. She throws her up, down, barrier up. She turns a lot back, and Tristana goes in on it. She's trying to pick him up. Manages to get the Silas, threshes down.
Man.
What's going on up on the other side by blue? I missed it. Nobody died for the blue team.
Yeah, so that fight immediately delved into two different factions. Rujin kind of jumped over the wall and got caught out. The Nautilus is very quick on his reaction to there. Meg Average, though, caught out on the other end, but crucially, he is able to survive with the barrier and his shockwave, while the Lee Sin was not. So, good fight there. And this team fight comp, like we said, ever since draft select, is starting to emerge as the win condition here for the Ravenous Kumquats.
And shortly after that fight, Nautilus managed to blow Mystic Wave's flash as well.
Ooh, yeah.
So Zillion's missing that now for the next fight.
Yeah, that's a good look. He definitely wants to avoid getting taken down earlier on so he can manage to ult one of his carries. So, big summoner spell.
Dragon, they picked up 3 kills, I believe it was, and they picked up a tower mid lane. Pretty good swing in favor of the Ravenous Kumquats there.
Yeah.
I think for the first time this game, the kills are in their lead now.
Yeah, and along with a 3,000 gold lead, you could argue that the Infernal Dragon is not as great with how many tanks they have, but keeping it out of the hands of Wookiee Warrior.
Very risky for Wookiee.
Yeah, it grabs the Nautilus ultimate, which is great and all, but when you have to burn your flash, not sure it's worth it there, as don't know if they're going to be able to continue this siege. Another
Very
Dreadline.
close hook coming out of the Nautilus.
Yeah, that would have been Mystic Wave dead if he had been caught there without flash.
So Kledal will be up in like 3 seconds. We might see him engage tool here if they weren't recalling.
Yeah, Electro went back. He did have a good timing, was able to pick up that static shift, so now is sitting on 3 items compared to the 2 of Eclipse, so likely he was communicating to his team that he wanted to pick up just a few CS and recall.
Nets Dragon will be an Infernal as well, so we'll see if Ravenous Kumquats are able to pick up the double Infernal, or if that'll go over to the Dandelion Knights.
Yeah, so you have a couple of options here if you're the Kumquats. You could go into a 4-1, isolate the Kled, who now actually has the item and damage advantage over the Silas. Or you could set up around Baron and start establishing vision, keeping that mid wave and top wave shoved out. So we'll see what kind of play they make here.
So, yeah, from what I've been seeing, the Kled has been beating Silas in the last couple of 1v1s that they've been having, at least in the brief skirmishes.
Yeah.
So they can definitely push that 1v1 matchup if they want to try and do a 4-1 split.
Yeah, it does.
They don't need Kled to be with the team because they have the Amumu who can be their primary engage front line.
They're starting off the Dragon, maybe just, or Baron, just a bit of a damage check there as it is warded. Can't commit to that. Here comes the engage.
Oh, Kled engaging though. He went the wrong way, unfortunately. Yeah. They backed out the other direction.
Yeah. Fortunately didn't have vision of all of their members, but
it was a good try, good guess.
Oh, they still won it.
Umu with the engage. Silas is not tanky yet. Ooh, he flashes and blows the ultimate just for the one. We'll see. They're able to turn back a lot of damage. There's the Oriana ultimate. Tristana's jumping in there. She's got the double jump. She's chasing down. There goes Zillion. Kai'Sa ults away, but she's got the jump back thanks to Zillion. She has a red buff. Wow! Lots of damage returned on the Kai'Sa.
Huge fight, quadra kill.
Get rid of the Tristana, because that would have been a lot of pushing power.
And despite that Kled ult being blown early, they say no, we're going to pull the trigger anyways. Going with stun card flashes only ults the Silas still, but the follow-up from Caliganus Hero and the Nautilus able to CC so many targets. Quadra kill for Electro.
Not just the Kled ult being blown early, Amumu flashed and ulted only for Silas edge of the ultimate. That's a lot of teamfight potential that got thrown away for such a little gain. But the Nautilus and the Oriana ults coming in,
Yeah.
Plenty of CC to make up for it. It just shows how dominant their team comp is in a team fight.
Yeah, exactly like you said. They blow 2 major cooldowns, but still have so much more to follow it up with. And then you've just got Electro, all the utility from his teammates, setting him up to put out so much damage. Now with the QSS, to ignore a Thresh Hook or a Zillion Double Bomb, he's going to be as safe as he possibly can be.
Yeah, but we got Infernal Drake up in 45 seconds, so that's also on the table. Looks like they're trying to establish vision around Baron right now, though. We'll see if they shift focus to grab that dragon first.
Yeah, we haven't seen the
They'll just recall,
Kumquats.
though. They're losing that vision that they just set up.
Yeah, Roscoe, not sure where he's going to go. They have not set up to 4-1 yet, and I don't think they're going to, unless they try it now.
Right now, they don't really need to set up the 4-1. I think it would work in their favor if they did send 4 bot, secure the dragon, keep Kled top, which looks like what they're starting to do now. Because I don't think Silas can really answer the Kled anymore.
Oh, but here start the fight.
Yep. So,
Disengage.
Alright, I'm here now. I'm ready.
Oh, there's the old Mystic Wave. Does have
there's
Flash.
They very happy to blow a Mumu ult just for the Zillion. They recognize the power of him and the importance of taking him off the map. Lee Sin's on the backside looking to steal it. He comes in. Blue team's able to secure it though. Lee Sin jumps out, but Tristana is right after him. Wow, lots of chase being thrown. Tristana flashes forward. They do pick that up. They do pick up Kai'Sa as well.
Yeah.
Looks like they're heading right for the Baron now. Probably the best call for them. They could have gone bot lane, but I think the Baron is definitely the better choice.
Yeah, they're going to secure it easily with no jungler, mid, or ADC. Wookiee Warrior not really headed in that general direction.
Now,
so.
they should send Nautilus or somebody similar up top lane to start the push up there. So the rest of the team could join them at the top tower right after Baron.
Yeah. Yeah, that fight was all kinds of split from the Dandelion Knights. They lost their mid lane very early on, so the Lee Sin kind of had to commit to the steal and nothing else. So at that point, you're kind of calling the fight a loss and just going for the gamble on the dragon. Didn't work out. Very nice smite secure by stun card, and at that point, I was just, you didn't want to lose any more deaths if you're the Dandelion Knights. So, well played. Kumquats able to group up and make the right calls, going on the right people, and show top form on this team fighting composition.
So double Infernal versus Cloud and Earth Drake. That Drake will be another Cloud, and I believe that's the last Drake, right? And that's one will be...
Yeah, it will be. So we're nearing that 30-minute mark, so anything past that, I believe it's a 30 minutes. Someone can correct me in the chat.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm a play-by-play caster. I'm not too colored.
But I don't know either, so that's awkward.
Do your job, man.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We got all 5 coming down bot lane, except for the Orianna, who's up by the Baron pit. Just kind of doing scuttle for reasons.
Yeah, not sure. I think she just really
wants
wants
gold, grabbing that blue buff.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have teleport, so it's not like she can come down and match, but it doesn't look like their team really needs her much either right now with the Baron and Tristana power.
Yeah, not the most ordered setup here from the Kumquats, but it likely won't matter as Megab is just going to walk over as they take that turret for free. Going to group and look for the spot lane.
They push down. Oh, no, maybe they're going mid. I'm not really sure what they're doing right now. Just kind of fanning mid. Looks like they're making the call. They want to go bot lane.
Yeah.
After some decision, they want to be bot.
Yes.
That's wave, though, is a ways out.
Yeah, I would argue this would be a good time. Yeah, I would argue this would be a good time to set up that 4-1 with Kled in the top lane to make sure you're putting pressure on multiple lanes with this Baron. But if they're able to make the fight happen or get the siege on, you do have a Tristana. So
Kled just diving without minions.
Holy
he doesn't
moly.
give a shit. Goes right on in. The team runs right through the tower. Orianna's taking tower shots. There's a lot of lockdown, though. Wow.
And the Ravenous Kumquats, they don't even care. They're just going to walk past that turret, take out 3 members, just Mystic Wave and Rouge up, and this could be game here.
This very well could be game. Death timer's 30 seconds, almost 40 seconds in some cases. They just completely ignore the tower. They said, we don't need minions, we're coming in. They came in hot, and they were ready.
And what a statement play.
Cowardly mount. Lots of damage coming in. The Zillion, Lee Sin, though, good. Wow, good moves by Lee Sin to get out of there. But I don't think it's going to be, killing the Orianna is not going to be enough to save his base.
Yeah. Mystic Wave going to have to run back towards his fountain and
Wow.
throw a last few desperation
We have
bombs.
a 1-1 three-way tie for playoffs, everybody.
We do. In the face of defeat, Ravenous Kumquats build a powerful composition focused around what they do best, team fighting, and they're able to take it to Dandelion Knights in dominant fashion on the back of a comically bold tower dive to end the game. So,
what a series. Game 2, especially with how chaotic and how bloody it was, this was fun to cast.
yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, we do have that 1-1 that we were talking about. It is going to be a three-way tie for at the bottom 3 places in our league, meaning that now Paid by Steve have secured that 3rd seed, so they're going to be playing against Nerdy Pandas in the first round of playoffs. Spaceman Spiff is now awaiting the winner of Squirtle Squad, Dandelion Knights, and Ravenous Kumquats. We will figure out those tiebreaker matches as they come up in this next week. But yeah, anything to add after a barn burner of a series?
I mean, just fantastic series all around. GG's to both teams. That was really fun to watch. I'm looking at the damage charts right now. Tristana and Oriana both put out a lot of numbers there.
Yeah. And that was crucial to making this team fight composition work, is if their carries were able to get ahead and put out consistent damage. Because you can have as many tanks as you want to, but if your carries aren't following up and knocking them down when you're alley-ooping them up, then it's not going to work out. So kudos to Electro and Mega Average. Going back on their comfort picks, I don't know how many times we've seen Electro on this Tristana put in work, but he did so again here. And well played from the Kumquats to keep their hopes alive with a brink of destruction win here.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Alrighty, well, that will likely do it for us here tonight. Go over to, I don't know if the Demacian match has finished.
I believe that they are still running.
Okay, they did start a little bit ahead of us, I think, so they could
No.
could have been finished by now. So
Yep, no, they're open.
okay, yeah. So I don't know what games we're gonna have later this week. I know a couple of teams in each division, actually not the Shuriman, but a couple of teams in the other divisions have yet to play out their games. So we will be joining our casting team hopefully next week for some tiebreakers, as Shurima's looking real interesting, and we'll try and keep you updated on the other divisions and how that's going to play out. So awesome stuff, and really exciting to be able to put ourselves into a 3-way tie in the Shuriman Division. Yes, GG to both teams, and I think that's going to do it for us here on the caster desk. Squirtle Squad, led by my co-caster here, very thrilled at the idea of being able to fight for playoffs after this 1-1. Yeah, paid by Steve as well. Yeah, paid by Steve as well. Happy to clinch that 3rd place spot. So we'll see what happens in this next week before playoffs. But thanks, guys, for watching. It's been an awesome series. We're going to sign off for now, but pay attention to the Discord as we will start announcing these tiebreaker games and get playoffs underway. So thanks
GG's,
all,
everybody.
and good night.